Hello, hello, my fellow comic book collectors. This is just going to be, I'm bored. So I just figured, hey, why not just go randomly live on air and, just have some fun. I'm going to show some of the comics that I've been picking up this week. I don't know. I'm bored. Kids are like doing their own thing. My wife's doing her own thing. And I just had some time on my hands. So I figured, hey, I got a bunch of cool books this week. Why not show those cool books that I got? This is not an unboxing. This is not like my typical thing where I, pull books out of nowhere. But this is a place where I'm going to. Hi, Lyle. I'm just going to show some books that I've been picking up this week. just, just random stuff that I picked up this week. Some of it came from eBay in the mail. Some of it I actually went to. There's a local shop that they have some really cool stuff, like some golden age stuff. They have some just some really kind of unique items. And I picked up some stuff there, and I also bought some new stuff. So I was thinking, hey, why not just randomly show some of the cool things that I picked up this week? And I figured, just sort of hang out, and you guys can ask me whatever questions you want. I'm just going to show some cool books, and hopefully you'll like the cool books. I think they're cool. I'm going to start out with this one that just came from eBay. It's in low grade, but it's a really great book. It's Planet Comics number 42. This just came in the mail yesterday, and I got it from the UK. And I was like, right now, this is a big tip. Like, you can get really great deals if you buy from the UK. Now, shipping is a bit annoying because the shipping is always like some crazy amount, But right now, the UK, the pound has really dropped. So, like, typically this book sells, even in this grade, even though it's a low grade, usually for about $200. But because the pound has dropped so much, I was able to pick it up with shipping and everything for about $100. So I was like, hey, not a bad deal. And it's a really great cover. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I thought it was a great cover. I really enjoyed it. So I was quite happy. Hey, it's a Joe Doolin is the artist for it, and it's just a really nice one. I just really like this kind of good girl sci-fi thing going on. So that was what came in eBay. And then I as I said, I went to my local Champ for Comics. Hey, hey. So I went to my local, like one of my, like, it's like kind of nearby my house, like not that near, but kind of close. I went to this one place where I picked up some really cool stuff, and I'm going to show you the first one. That is just a really awesome book. I always wanted to have this book in my collection. I was really excited. I was like kind of surprised that they actually had it because it's not a common book. It's not one you see very often. Hey, Alex, the comic hoarder. Wow. Hey, Alex, I'm trying to get you to, do my interview series with me. So you gotta, now that you've come to this live crazy video, you gotta do the interview series with me at some point. So, but yeah, so as I was saying, I always wanted to have this book. I did recently one of these, the challenges, my Friday challenges, where I talked about crossovers or team, like, sort of like crossovers between like different characters or different series. And somebody mentioned, oh, why didn't you get this book in your collection? Why didn't you show this book? Like, whenever you think of crossovers, this is kind of the biggest crossover that's ever happened in comics. And I agree. This book is the biggest crossover, kind of the craziest crossover that I've ever seen. And I'm going to show you the book. It is this one. Isn't this this is like super famous. It is like, the fight of all fights, Muhammad Ali versus Superman. Like, it just, when I saw that he had this, like, I was like, oh, you have like, I was in the shop and he took me to this back room where he keeps all his good stuff. like all the stuff that, he always has all the, the cheaper books in the front, but he took me to his back room where he had all this like really like awesome stuff. And he had this one, and I was like, oh, wow, that's really cool. And I saw the price. It was like $250. It's a pretty expensive book, but that's Canadian, just so you know. This is the deluxe edition. And typically, the Canadian dollar's dropped a lot. So if you want to compare that to US price, that would be around, like, I'd say like 150 US. I talked him down again. I always try to like, oh, it's not such a cool book. I always try to talk it down, and I was able to get it for like about 200 Canadian, which is about 140, 130 US. So it's a pretty great deal. I just love this book. This is a Neil Adams cover. It's actually a wraparound cover. I never I didn't realize how awesome it is. It's a really great book. I gotta kind of show it here. One second. Gotta prevent tape pulls by removing the tape here. This is something I learned. I had a really rare book. I left the tape on, and I got a major tape pull once. So I'm always scared about taking books out. But I'm going to do this once for you guys. Look at the back. Isn't that awesome? All the people in the back. It's a really great wraparound cover. Like you get to see the whole audience. Just love this book. This is a really cool book. I always wanted to have this in my collection, and it's just not like in Canada. You don't see it that often. It's not like a common book, and just to get it is really great. Quite nice. It's in really good shape. It's quite nice. So yeah, I was pretty excited about that. So that was one find from him. And let's see what else. So as I said, I was in the back room. I was flipping through his magazines. His comics had been pretty picked over, actually. And I think I was the one that picked over a lot of them. But but he did have some really great horror books. And I'm going to show you them. I think these are really cool. There's Weird. These had like just really, these were from the late 60s, early 70s. And they sort of were kind of balancing out the whole golden age, the end of the golden age. And they just went full on horror with these magazines, because magazines weren't subject to the Comic Code Authority. You could go as crazy as you wanted in the comic, in a magazine compared to comics. And so they had these really kind of crazy covers. So I'll show you a few of them that I picked up. So I picked up 6. They're $20 each, or that's roughly $14 US each. So this is Terror Tales. Isn't that great cover? It's like a decapitated mummy, like it's strangling this weird ghoul thing. And you get this girl in peril as well. So hi, Axel. Just saying hi to all the people coming in here. So yeah, and then we got Terror Tales. Look at this one. It's a really nice cover. I like these mummy covers. I think they're really great. And got all the little, the like cult or something. I'm not sure what they're doing. And got the woman in peril. Isn't that awesome? What a great cover, isn't it? So I picked these up. As I said, they were about $15 US each. So not too bad. So this is like a Frankenstein one, and he's like strangling the woman. I'm not sure if that's a vampire or what is that. Does that look like a vampire? I think that's a vampire. So we got like a Frankenstein monster strangling the girl in the red dress. What is it with wearing red dresses? Just like every time you wear a red dress, your life is in danger. It's kind of like Star Trek. In Star Trek, if you wear the red costume in Star Trek, you're pretty much dead that episode. In the original Star Trek, they would always die. They would always die. So women in the red dress, I guess it's the kind of the same thing. Something about wearing red. Don't wear red, people. It's dangerous. So then we got Tales from the Tomb. I thought this one was kind of cool. Like she's getting a stake through the heart. Isn't that kind of cool? And it looks like a werewolf and a Frankenstein monster. They just try to get all the different monsters onto the cover. So yeah, so it's just, you know, really, really funny thing. So, and yeah, I really like these ones. I like these, like, you know, these, as I said, they came out in the late 60s, early 70s. And I'll show you one more. This one, there's sort of this vampire girl and she's got staked right, you know, right in the heart. Kind of cool. And, you know, again, another werewolf and, yeah, just a whole bunch of things going on with this cover. So these books are really hard to find, actually. So it's always great when I can find a little collection of them. And, you know, I had to negotiate with the guy. He's like, kept on trying to, like, oh, you know, he could see that I was a little excited because when I find these great things, I get a little excited. And I think he was like, oh, you know, originally I think the price would have been like maybe $20, dollars. And then it kind of went up to 25 and 30. I could see that based on my excitement, he was trying to price out the books. And I was like trying to sound, oh, no. And I was showing him like I bought similar books much, much cheaper. And I was really talking him down. It's always that battle to do the pricing with these kind of things, because what happens is it's really hard to get pricing for these kind of books. There's no GPA or census that you can go to that gives accurate numbers for what these books price at. So a lot of the time what you do is you look at eBay and what other people are selling them for, or you look at My Comic Shop and what they're selling for there. So it's really hard to figure out pricing. So often what you have to do in these kind of situations is really negotiate and like based on what they want and what you want. And it can be a real challenge to get the right price. So I always try to get them for in that $20 range, Canadian, which is about $15 US. And I find that that's a reasonably fair price. Actually, I looked at My Comic Shop. They usually sell them for like $30 to $40. So I kind of wanted to get a little bit cheaper than that. So that's generally the way I go. And another book that he had that I was like, actually, it was really funny. Like, as I said, in the shop, he had put all his like kind of not so great books, like all the like, not dollar bin, but sort of like non-key issues. And I was like, oh, as I was going into this back room where he had all his, other stuff, he had a few boxes set aside. And I was like, oh, what are these little boxes set aside? And inside, he had all the key books. He had basically stripped all the long boxes of all the keys. And he put them into these little short boxes where he had put the key books that are really hot right now. And I know that this book is really hot right now. It's a book that I never had though. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm kind of interested in this book. So it's this one. This is super hot right now. It's the first sort of battle between Wolverine and Deadpool. And it's just like one of these kind of classic covers. So it's just one that, it's super hot. And it was like, this one, I really couldn't push him down too much. I had to pay about, I think it was $100 Canadian. So again, that's about $70 US. And it's in a 8.0, I would say, condition, but it's one where there's no spine, like there's no color breaking spine ticks. So if I was the type of person, which I'm not, the type of person to press it, I could probably press out like a little bit of deviations on the spine. So it's just like, it's one of these books where it probably could get like a 9, maybe even a 9.2 if it was pressed. It's quite sharp, except for there's a little bit of waviness on the spine. So I was quite happy. So quite happy to get this book. It's one of those things like, I do get affected by FOMO. I'm not sure if you guys ever have that situation where, you see like a book that you kind of wanted, but you were always kind of procrastinating about getting. And this was a book that I've always procrastinated about getting. I always liked this book. I always liked the cover. I just thought it was such a cool cover with the two guys, you know, one with, you know, Wolverine with his claws and Deadpool with his swords. And just, you know, that whole like, you know, almost death like battle thing going on here. And I just always thought it was a classic cover, but I just never pulled the trigger on it. I don't know why. I just never bought it. so then when it became like, when there was that whole video with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, I was like, oh man, now that book is going to go through the roof and it's going to be like really, really expensive. And I'm not going to be able to pick it up for a reasonable price. So I was happy that I was able to pick it up from my local comic shop for a reasonable price. So I think I paid a reasonable price for this. So I was quite happy. So this is Wolverine 88, first battle between Deadpool and Wolverine. So I don't know, kind of a cool book, kind of one that I always wanted to have in my collection. And now I'm going to show you some other random stuff that I bought. It is all modern stuff. So this is stuff that just came out this week. Just stuff that I bought literally yesterday. Yesterday it was New Comic Book Day. And I'm going to show you the stuff that I normally buy on a weekly basis. And you'll see, I buy a lot of books. Like stuff that you guys never see on this channel, because normally I show you the stuff that I get in my unboxings. But I don't really show you often what I get when I go to the LCS, when I, you know, buy the regular monthly books. And this is what I bought just yesterday. So I do this almost on a weekly basis, where I buy like just a ton of modern books. And I'll show you some of the ones that I picked up this week. So the first one is right now DC is doing a series where they're doing like One Bad Day kind of thing, where they're taking the rogue gallery for Batman, and they're doing a series where they are like kind of giving each, is this the worst character that Batman, or worst villain? Oh, hey, Comic Mag Musings. Hey, let's see if this works. Oh, hey, that worked. Okay. Hey, Comic Mag Musings. So yeah, so this is like a comic that just came out for Joker. You know, is he, you know, Batman's worst villain? And this is, I think, I'm not sure if this is the A cover or I think this might be the A cover. And I also I thought this cover was just brilliant. Look at that. Isn't that a cool cover? Like where he's kind of removing the mask. I just think that's really cool. So these are modern ones that just came out yesterday. And then I also pick up, I'm a really big Lady Death fan. I love my 90s good girls, or bad girls, actually. It was bad girls from the 90s. And this one came out, I thought was kind of sexy. This is like the, I think this is the, you know, the variant cover for it. I didn't pay $15. I always get like 30% off, but it's just kind of a cool, sexy cover. I like my sexy girl covers, so I thought that was interesting. And then Archie had a had a book as well. So this is like not the normal stuff that you would see on my channel. Like, you know, I'm always showing like Golden Age books or big grails and stuff. Well, these are kind of some of the books that I buy on a more weekly basis. You know, these kind of modern books that just have some nice covers. And I don't know anything about this series, but I thought it had a really great cover. I thought this, I don't know what you guys think of it, but it's called Sweetie, Candy Vigilante. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. This is one of the covers. I'm not sure if this is the A or B, but it's from Dynamite. Dynamite has a tendency of really creating great good girl art covers. So I really like collecting stuff from Dynamite. So yeah, I don't know. So that's that one. And this is the other variant. I think this is the A cover. That was the B. This is the other. Isn't that kind of cool? I don't know. I thought it was a pretty cool cover. I'm not sure what the story's like, but I'll probably read it later. So yeah. And then actually it was really funny. This book that I'm just looking at, there was somebody that picked up how many copies? I think they picked up 20 copies of this book. Oh, oh, Lyle, what did you get? I got a Golden Age comic in today. Wings, 52 from 1945. Matt Baker cover. Are you sure that's a Matt Baker cover? I'm not sure if he did Wings covers, to tell you the truth. But I'm trying to think of Wings 62. But yeah, some of the covers for Wings are quite great. Yeah, I'll have to look that one up. Wings, is it 62? I can barely read that. It's such small on my phone. But this is one that somebody was picking up 20 copies of. And I'm not sure if it's such a bad idea. Like, what do you guys think of these reprints? This is Superman #1 reprint. You know, are these worth picking up? What do you guys think? Are you guys collecting these reprints, these facsimile editions, they're called? You know, if you look at Action 1, the facsimile from, I think it's from the 70s, that's actually, it's not a cheap book, strangely enough. It's like, you know, you'd think, it should be cover price or like a few dollars, but it's, you know, a few $100. So, I always, you know, I don't think I'm ever going to own Superman 1. Maybe I might own it, but this is like sort of that book filler until I get the real thing. But yeah, so what do you think? Is anyone else picking these up, and are you picking them up to spec on, or what is the situation? I just picked it up because I didn't think I would have the actual book. So that's Superman 1. Then another variant cover for this Lady Death and Hell Witch. I don't know. And I have a tendency of picking up all the different variants. Some of them are quite sexy. I kind of like this one. So yeah, I thought that was quite cool. And there was a new series. I have no idea what this is. Book 4 of it, The Illusion Witch. I just thought it was a nice, sexy lingerie cover. As I said, I like my good girl art covers. So yes, this is the Illusion Witch #4. And there was something that was really cool. I thought this was so funny when I saw this. One sec, let's see if I can get all of them. Yeah, I was like shocked when I saw this. This is like something I bought purely out of nostalgia. Garbage Pail Kids Origins. So when I was a kid, I actually collected Garbage Pail Kids. I tried to get all the cards. You know, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Garbage Pail Kids, but I used to collect these all the time when I was a kid. I had not all of them, but I had a pretty good collection of Garbage Pail Kids. The original series from way back in the early 80s or mid 80s. So yeah, I really like Garbage Pail Kids. I always thought they were really funny. So this is Garbage Pail Kids Origins. And I picked up 3 different versions of it. I thought these are really great covers. I just thought they were kind of funny. So that's another one where he's like, you know, I don't know, being operated on, his brain's being pulled out. And then this is like some black and white one. Look at that. I just thought it was really, really a great cover. You know, I'm not sure what you guys think of Garbage Pail Kids. Not the typical comic that you'd see on this channel, but definitely something that I thought was really kind of nostalgic for me. Like I really enjoyed Garbage Pail Kids. Maybe I had a bit of a sick humor when I was a kid. I don't know. But I really like Garbage Pail Kids. And another one that I picked up, this is kind of interesting too. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Sunday Morning Adventures, or Saturday Morning Adventures. So kind of like, again, that kind of nostalgic version of the TMNT. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting. And whenever there's a new series with Swamp Thing, because my son's a big Swamp Thing fan, I always pick it up. So this is Dark Crisis, and it has like a Swamp Thing cover. So I thought that was kind of cool. So the Deadly Green. I thought that was kind of interesting. And another Good Girl art cover, another series that I, company I usually pick up their stuff from is Zenoscope. I like these things. They have some pretty sexy cover. This is The Rise of Cthulhu. Yeah, I don't know. Just stuff that I pick up. But this is one that I really liked. Actually, I was lucky I picked it up when I did, because I think this is going to be a hot book. This is Spider-Man #1. The Arthur Adams variant cover. I just thought it was a really, really great cover. If you haven't picked this one up, I think this is going to be a really hot cover for Spider-Man. They had other covers for it, but I thought this was the best of this week. So I thought this was really great. So that was Spider-Man #1. And what else? Wait, I gotta show some more stuff. I picked up a ton of books. So we got like Red Sonja. This is Red Sonja Unbreakable. So yeah, sort of a cool book. And I picked up the cosplay version of it. So these are just books that I randomly pick up. So whether I don't know if you guys like modern books. I as I said, I have a tendency of buying based on the cover, based on, if I like the art on the cover, I'll pick up some books. And a good example of that is, even though I haven't been really, following Batman recently, I did pick up this book because I thought it was a brilliant cover. It's just so crazy. So I thought, this is a really interesting one. This is a Batman 128. I thought it was a really great cover, like the skull, and I'm not sure what this thing is, but it looks pretty awesome. I'm not sure if it's Swamp Thing or what that is. I'm not sure what that is. Just a really interesting cover, I thought. So yeah. So, and then another series that I think, this is a series that I was surprised that just came out. And I think it's one that should be picked up if you're, into specking on things, is Star Fox. Whenever a character gets their own series, usually that book has some extra value. And it seems like they're going to do something with the Star Fox character. Marvel is not subtle. Like, whenever it's going to do, like, put some character in a movie or kind of make a character the next big thing, they will put it in the comics. They will, so we know that Star Fox is, he was in the end credits. But the fact that they gave him his own title, that means that I think they're going to do a lot with him, especially if they get, what's the guy's name that plays, is it Styles? Harry Styles? Is it Harry Styles that plays Star Fox? You can correct me. Tell me in the tell me in the comments. I think it's Harry Styles. But yeah, so basically, Star Fox, having that kind of big celebrity play the role and having, yeah, I think they're going to do something with him. They did announce that there is going to be an Eternals 2 movie. So I think Star Fox will be a pretty major character in the MCU. So what other things did I pick up? I thought this one was interesting. I picked up, what's that here? I don't know why all my books are all mixed up. Okay. This is another series I just thought had really great covers. I just thought this was good. This is Siren's Gate. And, I just thought it was kind of a sexy, sexy girl cover. I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with this series. I'm not really getting anyone's comments. Are you guys still commenting? I don't see anyone's comments, but okay. And then we got, this is like a variant, the werewolf. I thought this was kind of cool. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it looks cool. in my opinion. And we got this sort of the stripper one. This is kind of a like a stripper on a stripper pole kind of sexy cover. These were kind of interesting. Siren's Gate. I don't know anything about this series. Everyone's just listening and watching. You guys can comment, and like I feel like I'm talking to myself sometimes. But yeah, you can always comment. I will answer any questions. I will show whatever you want me to show. But yeah, I'm just showing random stuff at this moment, so it should be interesting. The next series that I really liked this series, even though the story isn't necessarily the best story, but the covers are really great. And I just enjoy the covers, is Gun Honey. Some really great covers for Gun Honey. This is the second series for Gun Honey. It's Gun Honey, Blood for Blood. So yeah, so Gun Honey, Blood for Blood, number 2. And Poison Ivy had a new issue that came out. Some of these Poison Ivy ones are pretty amazing covers. I just picked up this one. I think there's a few others that I might have picked up, but this is one of them. This is Poison Ivy number 4. And I'm really into homage covers. So right now, Harley Quinn is doing a bunch of homage covers. And this is like an homage to The Dark Knight. I just thought it was really cool with Harley Quinn. Just a really great cover. I love these homage covers. They did some really, really great ones with Harley, where they did Detective 27 homage. They did the first appearance of Poison Ivy, I believe, homage. And they did a homage to, what was the number? The first appearance of Robin, stuff like that. It's just been really, really interesting. I like these homage covers, so I always pick them up. And this one I picked up kind of, this is another book. This one, I don't know if I even should have picked this up. I don't know if I should support this. I almost felt like, should I not buy this next book? Just because I don't want them to go down this route that they're doing with this book. But I picked it up anyways, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's Edge of Spider-Verse. This is the first transgendered Spider-Man. It's like, wow. I'm not, if you've watched my channel, I'm really not into this whole agenda part of comics. But yeah, I just thought this was, you'll see what I'm saying. Like, this is the A cover, and like they have like a variant edition. This is the new character called Web Weaver. It's like, this is like the least cool version of Spider-Man out there. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Do you like these transgendered Spider-Man characters? Like, how many groups do they need to appeal to? I don't know. It's even like, look at the collar. I don't know. It's like, I was really debating, should I get this? Because do I really want to support this new trend in comics that has been going on for the last few years, where they make comics not to make something that's good to read, but to just push an agenda. And I talk about that on my channel a lot. I always get in trouble when I do, but I always I have nothing against any random group, but I just don't want it to be the focus. I would rather just the content of the story be the content of the story, make it a good story. But yeah, I'm just curious what people think about this. Like, it's just something that I've noticed in recent trends of comics. Another, getting way off, different topic altogether. This is I just thought this was a brilliant cover. I'm just going to show you. This is the Black Adam Multiverse Teen Justice number 5. The Black Adam and Hawkman cover variant. There was other covers for this. I just thought this was the best. I really liked this. I'm not sure who is the artist. Does anyone know what the artist is for this one? I really like their art. I've noticed that they did a bunch of the Batman and stuff. So yeah, so it's just a really great book in terms of the art. I'm not sure about the story. The art looked pretty cool. Yeah, so yeah, I just picked up some because it's not something I'd go out of my way to buy. That's generally the way I feel too. Yeah. Okay, so then there's this one. This is the Dynamite series, NYX. Not the same as the Marvel character, but just I've been picking up this series just because. And then we got more of the Poison Ivy covers. Here's some more of the Poison Ivy. As I said, the Poison Ivy covers have just been phenomenal lately. So this is Poison Ivy number 5. Just a really great cover. And there's actually a 1 in 100 variant to that. It's like really expensive, but it's a foil version of it. And this one actually I thought was really cool. This is, again, just another variant for this Poison Ivy number 5. But it kind of reminded me of Betty Page. I'm not sure if you can see that. Just their hairstyle. You know, if Betty Page was a redhead, I don't know. Just it kind of reminds me of that pinup style Betty Page look. I think it's kind of cool. So yeah. And my comic shop, they always have like sort of a back bin, like dollar bin. And I picked this up in the dollar bin. Savage Dragon 250. Just one I needed for my collection. I'm trying to get a run of Savage Dragon. Just another series that sometimes I pick up. So this is Savage Dragon number 250. I picked it up for $1, so not too bad. And the last one that I picked up, and this is one that's kind of interesting. I actually read it when I was in the comic shop because I was curious, is this a first appearance? And so this is one of those ones. This is going to be one of those Hulk 180, 181 kind of controversies, I think. And it's another Hulk book too. It's Hulk 9, and it's this new character. I think her name's Morgan or Morg something. And it's just like a new character. And the way the book, she's on the cover though. It's a little bit better than Hulk 180 in that respect, but she's not in the comic. She's only at the very end of the comic. She says, "Hi, my name's blah blah." It's like, so it's going to be like, oh, is this the cameo? And then the next one is her first appearance. That kind of controversy I can see happening. So this is Hulk 9. And they actually had a cool variant as well, which had Predator, I should say. Predator versus Hulk. I thought that was really interesting to see this Hulk versus Predator cover. So I thought that was really interesting. Yeah, I was somewhat surprised because, basically, Marvel has gotten the rights for Predator. And in a way, this is kind of like saying, hey, look, they're now part of the MCU in a way. I don't know how to say it, but so I think that was interesting to see the Predator, in this kind of variant cover. Predator isn't in the book, but it is in this variant cover. So yeah, so those were some of the stuff that I picked up this week. I was picking up a lot of stuff. Whenever I go to my local comic shop, I pick up a ton of books. As you can see, it's just like a ton of books. And I did pick up some other cool things that, I'm not sure. For those people that didn't come, earlier, I want to just show one of the cool books again that I showed earlier, because it was just such a great book. It's like here. I kind of got buried underneath everything. I didn't, for those people that came late, I did show some Golden Age in this thing. So, if you know me, I love my Golden Age. This is the Golden Age book that I picked up this week. It arrived in the mail, so I was quite happy. Yeah, you can also, if you watched my earlier unboxing today, that box had some pretty great stuff in it too. It was actually 3 boxes. I actually have another set of 3 boxes, and it might actually be bigger than my last set of unboxing, which was it was a bit crazy. That is coming up. I'm going to be getting it, I think, next week, and it's going to be massive. I actually won a really cool lot on Heritage over the weekend, and it was 60 kind of like these magazines and like sort of 60s to 70s early like horror and underground comics and stuff like that, and it was like a lot of 60, and I won it almost like $1 each. It's like, and they I think their price was like over $1,000 for what the books were, but nobody bid on it. I just got it. I got it for a steal. I was like so excited. I was like, wow, that's really awesome. Like 60 books for like $1 each. So yeah, so there was a, pretty cool. It was a pretty cool win. There was that, and then another 60 other orders that were all in this bunch of books that I'm getting next week. So that's going to be pretty exciting. And it probably won't air on my channel until the end of the month, but stay tuned for that. That's coming up. Another thing that I'm working on, and this is something you will probably find out, like, this is sort of like anyone that's watching this far, that you've made it 41 minutes in. I do have some pretty big news that I can tell you guys. Yeah, I'm going to be collaborating with another channel, and I'm going to be, because like I find that right now I'm at a point where I'm producing so much content. I have so much stuff that I want to do, so many things that I want to show you guys, that I don't actually have enough. Like I'm posting it once a week, once a day, but I didn't really want to post twice a day for my channel because it just would seem too much. So what I'm going to do is actually go on another channel and post out once a week on their channel. And it's a big channel, so it's kind of a big deal that they want me to do this. And it's Tales from the Flip Side. I'm going to meet with them on Monday, and we're probably going to record a video together, and hopefully that goes well. And then I'll be doing a weekly series with them, where I, have some different ideas that I want to showcase on their channel. So it should be a pretty cool thing. I'm kind of looking forward to, doing that collaboration with them. They're a much bigger channel. I'm trying to get this channel to be big. I really want this channel. I want to get to that point where when I go to the cons or whatever, I can get like a press pass and like just say, oh, I'm official. Like, I just want to be that level where I can go in and, get a little bit of respect in terms of, getting the ability to interview the different artists and stuff like that. Like, if I can get some discounts or free stuff, then that's even better. But maybe some acetate covers. I don't know. I always think that's funny, that the whole acetate cover scandal. That was so funny. But that's where I would like to go. I would like to get to that, geek god level status with my channel. It just it's not about ego more than anything. It's more about getting deals with comics, because I'm a comic collector. I'm not a dealer. I'm not gonna like make money on this. I'm doing this because I love comics and I love buying comics too much. And if I can just save some money by having a bit of influencer status, maybe that'd be cool. That'd be the kind of thing that I do. Yeah, so that's my goal, to build this channel, also to build the community. I really love, just like I was telling Alex, I've been begging him to come on my channel. I've been, trying to get all these other channels to join with me on the weekends and do these interviews. I really want to build that community and have like everybody kind of just all be friends and hang out with each other. And I really want to have that experience, because one of the things is I live in Canada, and I mean, it is kind of remote in a way that, there is a comic community here, but it's really hard to find people, locally that you can just sort of hang out with and babble about comics. So I kind of want to create that community that of people that, you know, have a common interest. And, you know, that's really been my goal with this channel for so long, that I just really want to, you know, get people on the channel and doing all these kind of, you know, interviews and stuff like that. Oh, hey, Michael. Yeah, so Michael's, you know, been a long supporter of the channel. So, hey, Michael, that's really great. Thank you for coming. So yeah, so that's something I'm really trying to do. If you know, if you know people that I can interview, or people that you know, you think would be willing to come on the channel to do my Saturday interviews, that would really help, because I really do want to, you know, build the community and get like kind of a network going of people, and, you know, really, you know, build the whole comic, you know, thing. I always worry that, you know, the market. I went last year. I did a video about this where I can see the future often with the way trends go, and I saw that the market was overheated and it was going to crash. And I remember the '90s. I remember how that was. Oh, wait, I got to respond to this. Yeah, Canada. Well, when I say remote, I just meant, you know, it's not as easy as US in order to get stuff. It's, you know, we always have to go across the border, and it's kind of annoying. And everybody's a bit more spaced in Canada. At least Netherlands is small, you know, in terms of land area. So yeah, that's what I meant more by the remote part, that it's just, we're a bit spaced out. So it's, you know, I actually met a whole bunch of people in this area, but it's always hard to, you know, meet, because it is like 30-minute drive or hour drive to meet that other comic collector. So that's what I mean by remote. It's probably not the right word to be using, but yeah. So what was I going to say? I was talking about how I've been trying to get these other channels involved and other people involved, and I'm always looking for opportunities to bring more people onto the channel. And eventually, what I'm hoping is, through my interview series, when I kind of make these really tight connections with the different people, that I end up can do sort of more of those panel discussions, where you get maybe 3 or 4 people, you know, and we just talk about whatever. We talk about comics, and talk about what stuff we're buying and stuff like that, and like really just, you know, sort of a community feel, you know, where we talk about comics, and you know, just shoot the breeze, I guess. So just something I was thinking about. Oh, okay. Well, okay. So Lyle, you're in BC. That's cool. And you mean British Columbia, Canada, right? When I see BC, I think BC, Canada. So yeah, yeah, that's Canada for you. Like, you know, he's at the other end of the country, basically. You know? So it's hard to get people together sometimes. So yeah, what else can I say? Before I wrap this up, because it's been going on for almost an hour now, I'm sort of worried that I'm going to make everyone like bored out of their minds with me just babbling all the time. Does anyone have any questions for me? Like, I know I just did my Wednesday video and I did my Q&A thing, but if you have any questions right now, you can ask me whatever questions. I can show whatever books are behind me. There's like a whole bunch of books. If there's anything you'd like to see, I'll gladly show it to you. I'm just really, like, as I said, when I first started this video that I'm running right now, my family is being boring. They're doing their own things, and they're doing their own stuff. My wife's doing her own stuff. She's out of the house. My kids are like in their rooms playing video games or doing their homework, and I had nothing better to do. So I kind of wanted to hang out with you guys, have some fun, just kind of hang out. What was this? Do you remember your first comic? Not really, to be honest, because my parents, when I when I got comics, they would just give me like comics like Disney, like Gold Key books, like Donald Duck, Uncle Scrooge, those kind of books I would get like every year as Christmas and birthday gifts and stuff like that. So a lot of the early comics that I had were those kind of books. I didn't get superhero books until much later. So my first superhero book is my Howard the Duck. Like that was my first superhero book, and it was kind of a compromise because it's not quite a superhero and it's still a duck. I guess maybe, you know, it's like kind of one of those silly things, right? Yeah. It was kind of one of those things. My parents, I don't know, they just really didn't get into comics. They didn't like me getting into comics. So, oh, whoops. Can you show your Amazing Fantasy 15? And do you have any stories about it? So where's my Amazing Fantasy? Okay, here. It's right here. So this is, you can see it's a green label. And really not much of a story to tell you the truth. It was one of those things like, I'm not sure, I buy a lot of stuff from my comic shop. And like there's certain books that I put on my alert. Like if these books ever come up, I'm really interested in them. I really want to get them no matter what, you know. And this was one of those books that I really, really wanted. I was really eager to get this book, like Amazing Fantasy, you know, first Spider-Man, big book. I really kind of wanted to get this in my collection. So it was on my alert. It came up. It was $12,000. And it's a green label. So I was a little bit nervous because green labels don't really command as much money. And even at the time, a blue label 3.0 was selling for about $15,000. And the only difference between this one and a blue label is that there's a small coupon that's been cut out in one of the pages. It's almost like that Hulk 181 situation where often there's the marble stamp that's been cut out. Well, this book, I don't know why somebody cut out a coupon in it, but that's why it got the green label. So it even says, coupon cut out of page 12 does not affect story, incomplete. So that's, so even at $12,000, which is a lot of money for one comic, actually, I couldn't pay for it. I didn't have enough money to pay for this book. So I had to do installments. And my comic shop, they were really nice. They didn't charge me extra for the, you know, usually you pay some premium fee or something like that. But they let me pay installments. I paid like $2,000 per month. So I paid it off over a 6-month period. And I got the book. I was like so excited when it came. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so cool now. I am like an official comic guy now that I had this really cool book. And you're right. It, you know, yeah, it is really nice presenting. The only issue with it, and I'll show it, is right down here. There's a, Amazing Fantasy 15 is notorious for marble chipping. And this one does have the corner has been chipped. If it wasn't for that chip, this book would have graded a lot higher, probably would have graded at a 4, 4, 5. But that chip really took the grade down. But the colors are really good. It's just a really nice presenting copy. I really was quite excited when I got it. I was like, oh, wow. I was like so excited when I got this book. So yeah, that was my big book, actually. So yeah. So anything else you want me to show, I can show. Yeah, I don't know. There's like so much stuff. I'm actually at the point where I've run out of shelf space. And I'm actually doing something weird. I gotta almost show this to you guys. See right there? I'm stacking boxes now. I've run out of shelf space, so now I'm stacking long boxes in the middle of the room. I've run out of space. So I'm actually kind of paranoid when this next unboxing happens. I don't have a clue where I'm going to put the books. I have no idea. Like, it's going to be 3 big boxes again. I have no idea where I'm going to put them. I have no idea. So wait, I try to watch your channel every day after school. Oh, thank you. Thank you for watching my channel. I appreciate it. Anyone that can endure watching my channel, I think you guys have the you're the best people in the world, because my family can't endure that much of me. So that's good that you guys can. So it's kind of funny. Yeah. So yeah, I'm at the point where I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed by my collection. It's quite big. I almost should show you how crazy it's become, where I'm actually going to turn the camera around, and I'm going to show you a little bit of the stuff that I normally don't show, like this wall. So you don't usually see this wall that I'm going to show, but you can see, like, I have these like shelving units, and the shelving units like have my long boxes. This is my long box, but I've run out of room in my long box now. So I'm putting stuff on top. So I got like my Lois Lane #1 on the top here, like just randomly put there. I have a couple slabs on top as well. And I just have like, it's like, you can see, like, if every box now has stuff on top because I've run out of room. And I think I have over 20,000 books in my collection now. And it's just, it's getting harder and harder to find places to hide the books or put the books in. You know, it's kind of getting a bit crazy, but it's fun. I love all the books. The funny thing is, like, you know, like a lot of people, like, they try to like reduce the size of their collection because, like, you know, they get overwhelmed, just like I'm getting overwhelmed. But I love every single book. I really do. I really enjoy, like, I'm a true hoarder in many ways. I just love every book, and I'd never want to give any of these books up. I just think they're the greatest. So it's, you know, it's kind of interesting. Like, I should almost show you, like this is like an example of one stack that's just sitting on top of those long boxes. And there's some really great books in here, actually. This is actually, this one stack is all Secret Invasions. It's all Secret Invasions, Secret Wars books that I haven't organized yet, and I don't know where to put them. But yeah, they're pretty great books, though. You know, it's like the entire run of Secret Wars, Secret Invasion, and the multiple series as well. And I just don't have any room. I don't know where to put them. So I'm thinking of getting, like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where to stuff these things. Like, I'm kind of running out of space. I actually got into the situation where what I was doing with some of my Golden Age runs, and it's almost embarrassing to show you this, but I'll show you, is I put them on these like little things. Like, it's almost like I put them like this, like where I have it all on a little little rack thing, and I put all the related comics onto those little racks, and I have like layers on this shelf that's behind me. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's like all these books here, and then with each book is like multiple books like from that same series. So that one was all my Punch and Chesler books. There's another one that has all my fight books. Like, when I'm saying fight books, what I mean is these ones. You know, I'll bring it out. One sec here. So it's like a little you know, thing, and it has like all my fight, like not all my fight books. I actually have multiple of these because I have so many fight books. But you know, all the different fight books. And there's some really great covers. I shouldn't flip through these so fast. Sorry. Okay, yeah. These are like Maurice Whitman covers and stuff. Really awesome covers, by the way. Like I really like this cover. Look at this one, Tiger Girl. It's a really great cover, Maurice Whitman. So I have them, like I just run out of space. So what I'm doing is like putting them on these racks. And actually, this is a really great cover too. I'm not sure if you can see that, but and I was running out of space, so I put them on these little racks. Try to keep them all together as a collection, and hope for the best. So yeah, back. But yeah, so I have like all these collections, like and it goes all the way deep into that area where it's just like collection after collection after collection of golden age books. Those are all kind of these golden age books and collections of them. And I just ran out of room on my wall, like on my like shelving unit to put them. So I had to put them somewhere. So I put them there. And it's just like, man, I got to figure out like some kind of way of storing all these books. Kind of running out of ideas. Actually, I'm not sure if you can see this. But you can see all the books at the top. I'm not sure if you guys can see all that. Now, it's actually like slabs all the way around at the top. In behind all those slabs, I have whole bunch of stuff. There's my coin collections are in behind them actually, because I figured, hey, I should move my coin collection out. So I put my coin collection in. Also, there's books, there's like comics in behind there as well. So they're actually hidden in behind all of that stuff up top is more comics. It is insane how many boxes I have. I figure I have at least 70 to 80 long boxes, maybe more than that. I don't know how many. It's just finding room for it. It's a bit crazy. So that's one of the things. I'm actually in the process of maybe moving, which is kind of interesting. So I'd be selling this house and moving to a different location where my wife just recently got a job in a new place. She wasn't working for the last few years actually, but now she's kind of returned to work because she was getting bored. The kids are getting old. She kind of wanted to go back to work. So we're going to be moving for her job, and my job I can do anywhere. I'm sort of like, I can do my job anywhere. I'm on the online kind of worker. Yeah, so we're going to be moving. I'm going to try to find a house that I can basically recreate this room and maybe double and have like a second room kind of like this, where it's just pure storage, and then I can have more room for my growth of my comics. I'll be a perfect hoarder. Like someday, like somebody will buy that future house, and like, I'll be long past and they'll find this amazing collection. I'm sort of worried that that's what's going to happen, but who knows? It'll be kind of funny. So that's kind of the situation. And I almost kind of want to show you in behind those comics, because there's some really amazing stuff in behind the comics, so you never see it. But it's a lot of coins and stuff. Like I have like a box up there somewhere. It's just filled with gold coins. Just like gold coins sitting at the top behind some comics. It's like, who does that? Like, I'm insane probably. So yeah, this is the crazy collection that I have. Yeah, I just think it's so funny that I've gotten to this stage where I got all these crazy books and stuff. But yeah, if there's anything else people want to see, I'm just hanging out basically. Tell me, if you want to see something on the room, like I can sort of move the camera around and show you around a bit, whatever you like to see. So yeah, just you tell me. I'm looking at the comments. I can at least see the comments. I didn't think, I actually brought a extra computer just in case I couldn't see the comments, but I can see people's comments. It's working quite well today. So what else can I say or show you? I'm not sure. So if nobody has any comments, I'll probably wrap it up it was really great that everyone stayed this long and hung out with me. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'm not sure after watching this video you'll want to, but if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. You want to see my Batman 3? One sec, wait. You want to see my Batman 3? Just say yes or no. I can grab it. It's a little bit hard to grab, actually. I almost have to move the camera to get it. My Batman 3 is right up there. It's a little hard to get. Normally I'd grab it. Okay, you really want to see it? One sec here. How am I going to do this? Let me see. I don't think I can grab it. No, one sec here. You gotta see me. You're gonna watch me do some really awkward stuff here. Can you? I'm not sure if you can still hear me as I'm a million miles away. There we go. I risked my life in order to show you this book. So let me just, my Batman 3. It's a restored copy. I got it at such a great deal, even though it's restored and the price that obviously affects the price. I got it on my comic shop. It was in their auctions, and I got it for like, I think it was $1,600. But normally it's a pricey book, even in restored. There was one that was a similar grade, like this is a 3.0, that sold just after mine. Like it was another restored copy. It was either a 2.5 or a 3. It was like in a similar grade, and it sold for almost twice what this one sold for. So I was quite happy. And the restoration, let me see. Let me read the restoration. It's moderate restoration, so it's pretty extensive actually. It's color touch, pieces added, staples removed, and tape on the interior cover. So there's a lot of restoration on this. Sorry for that, but it is what it is. But it's a cool. I actually really like this book, mainly because it's the first time that you see Catwoman as Catwoman. And to me, that's what makes it cool. To me, it's really her first appearance. People will always debate this with me, and I always will say this is her first appearance because in Batman 1 and Batman 2, they talk about, that you get to meet Selina Kyle, but you don't, there's no connection between her and the cat. She's always referred to the cat in the comic. And it's only in this book where they refer to her as Catwoman, and it's the only time that you actually get to see her. So for me, like, if you don't see the character as the character dressed up, it's not an appearance. It's like, it's only an appearance when you actually get to see the character in costume. So this is the first appearance of Catwoman in costume. It's the first time they don't even show you. You don't even know what the cat looks like. They just have like newspaper articles where they say, "Oh, the cat strikes again," and it's only in this issue that you get to see the Catwoman, and it's so funny. Her first appearance as Catwoman is so funny because it's like this silly cat mask. Like they literally, they went too literal with the cat, and they gave her this stupid cat mask and like tights. It's just such a bad costume, but definitely a very cool book. I was pretty excited to win that book because I'm a big Catwoman fan. I like my girls. I always enjoy my female characters. I love female characters. If you watch my channel enough, you'll realize that, hey, he really likes his female characters. Like, I like Wonder Woman. I like, Harley Quinn. I like Catwoman. I like Poison Ivy. All those characters I really enjoy. I always gravitated to the female characters, and I just kind of like these sexy girl characters. So I was a big fan of Catwoman Back in the 90s, I actually, Jim Balent had a really great run on Catwoman. That was just so awesome. It was like just these sexy Catwoman covers and stories. It's just a really awesome run. And I had the whole run because I really enjoyed it. So yeah, so I was a big fan of Catwoman. Yeah, it's kind of funny. That was on my pull list back in the 90s, having Catwoman. So yeah, so I was super excited to get that book in my collection. Another book, and I'm not sure where I put it. The other big book for her is Batman 35. This one. I had to grab it. So this is the book where we get Catwoman the way we know her now. Oh, hey, Epoch. Hey. I really like Epoch. By the way, if you haven't checked out Epoch's channel, you gotta subscribe to his stuff. He's doing a lot of videos lately that he's kind of like he's talking about a lot of movie news and stuff that's I found really useful. Actually, it was sort of funny. Just quickly aside, Epoch had done a video about is it Space Girl? I think it's Space Girl, who's going to be in the next Doom Patrol TV series. And they just cast her. She's kind of like this kind of cool character. She's got one leg and stuff. It's kind of weird character, but Doom Patrol is a weird show. He announced it on his channel that they had this girl casted, and so I was like, oh, I got to pick up her first appearance, and so I looked it up. We were kind of debating which was the first appearance. He actually corrected himself about it before I corrected him about it. But there was that book with her first appearance spiked afterwards, and not necessarily because of his channel, but so I actually ended up, because of his channel, I was able to beat the spec before it became a hot book. So it's Doom Patrol 1. It's actually, the funny thing is, people that are specking on the book, they're actually picking up the wrong book. It's so funny. And if you go to Epoch's channel, and look at the comments on his video about that character, you will learn what the true first appearance of that character is. And it's like this kind of hot character right now. So definitely go check that out. But yeah, it's kind of funny because people are specking on the wrong book. And even the book that they're specking on, it's like the cover for it is, it's Doom Patrol 1. And it's like this taco, or, it's like some kind of, or burrito or something like that. It's like some Mexican dish. That's the cover. But there's A, B, C, and D cover, I believe, for that book. And if you get the B cover or the C cover, those actually have the character on the cover. So I think those are a much better spec if you're going to spec on that particular book, which is really not her first appearance. It's her second appearance, actually, that book. But it's her first regular comic book appearance. She actually appeared in a preview comic that came out earlier. So I just think it's kind of funny that everyone's specking on the wrong book. So yeah, when I saw Epoch, I really had to mention that. I thought it was really funny. Okay, so one sec here. Let me. Okay, and I'll get back to your other question, Lyle. Have you ever heard of the Silver Age DC run Angel and the Ape? Oh, yes, and I have it. Angel and the Ape is up there. I don't know how to say it. It's like you're probably wondering, what is he talking about? Why is it up there? And I have to almost show you this. You'll see how I just try to find every little space for my comics. So I'm not sure if you can see. A sec. See up there? There's like all my. Up there is where I store all my showcase. I have my showcase collection up there. So it's like all the key issues for showcase I store up there, which is kind of weird, I know. But I have my Showcase 4, I have my Showcase 22, I have my Showcase 20 up there, Showcase 1 up there, and with Dolphin as well, and the Showcase that has the first appearance of Angel and the Ape. And also, I think I have Angel and the Ape #1 somewhere in one of the boxes. I'm not sure where it is, but I do know that series, and I kind of think it's one of those quirky series, so I actually like that kind of stuff. So yeah, so I do know Angel and the Ape. And then Lyle asked, "Do you have any Golden Age Red Rider comics?" No, I do know Red Rider. Actually, I bid on one and I didn't win. I have a tendency of not winning a lot of auctions because I try to get the best price, and sometimes these books they go up. I have other books, but not Red Rider. Yeah, so Showcase had incredible. Like I was actually planning to record a video where I show all the keys that you should pick up if you're going to collect, DC books. Showcase is really the series where you could pick up a lot of the first appearances. The first, Flash, Silver Age Flash, the first Green Lantern, Silver Age, the first Aquaman, like all these kind of big books or big characters were in Showcase. Lois Lane was in Showcase. All these big books were Showcase books. Showcase 55. That's not ringing a bell. What's Showcase 55? Just quickly, Jacob. What's Showcase 55? I almost feel like I have to go up there and get it. I have all of them. Any key that's related to Showcase, I have. It's up there, and I could probably get there. I could, climb up there and show it to you if you really want. Yeah. So, oh, is it Sea Devils? Okay, so Sea Devils is another series that got their first appearance. First, Adam Strange was in Showcase. What was the Time one? Time something. Time people. some Time one related one. Why am I blanking on the names? And Lyle says Red Rider series was great and good girl art. Yeah. Yeah, and so did DC Sea Devils 1960, 1961. Yeah, it's in Showcase where they made their first appearance. And actually, it's a pretty cool cover, the Sea Devils one. Yep. Solomon Grundy made his first appearance. Also, Dr. Fate made his first appearance in Showcase. Is it Dr. Fate? I might be wrong on that. Actually, Hourman. Thank you. I was thinking, it's Solomon Grundy and Hourman made his first appearance. I actually have that book. Again, it's up there. Like I have to go up. I should almost go up there. I feel like I should. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys. This is a poll, a quick poll. Do you guys want me to climb up and get my Showcase collection and show it to you guys? If you want, I am in the mood to make you guys happy. So if you want, I can go grab my Showcase collection and bring it down to you. Would you want to see that? So you guys tell me, and I will comply. I will show you my Showcase collection if you're interested. I have to grab it though. It's up there. I'm just moving stuff around so I can create some space. So do you guys want to see my Showcase collection? Yeah. Okay. So Jacob says yes. So Jacob, you are the one that is deciding. You're going to see some really weird stuff, but you're going to see me climbing. So there's the Showcase collection. You're going to see me magically climbing up to it. So here's me climbing up. Okay, so I'm going to bring down some books. I'm going to put them, actually, that right there. I'm grabbing. So we got Rip Hunter was the one I was trying to think of. Rip Hunter, first appearance of Rip Hunter, Showcase 20. Showcase with the Phantom Stranger's first appearance, Silver Age. This is Showcase 80. Okay. And then this is a funny one. This is Showcase 66, first Banana Beast. And then we got 67, another Banana Beast. And then we got, this is a funny one. This is the Maniacs. I thought it was a really cool cover. It's like a bondage cover. And Leave It to Binky. This is the Silver Age version of it. That was funny. And then we got Showcase 72, Top Gun, first appearance of Top Gun. And then we got Showcase 74, first appearance of Anthro. And Showcase 75, first appearance of Hawk and Dove. So kind of cool. And Showcase 76. This is the first Backlash. And you asked me about Angel and Ape. I told you it was up there. Here's Angel and Ape's first appearance. So that's what Angel and Ape was. So she was like sort of this haughty girl, and you got Ape down at the bottom. You can't really see Ape, but that's Angel and Ape. Okay. And then we got Johnny Double. That's another first appearance. This is Showcase 78. And they came out with, they were always, with Showcase, it was all about trying new things. So they would always like try to do like kind of weird stuff. So this is Showcase Wind and Willie. Like, isn't that kind of weird? You know, just really crazy stuff they would do in Showcase. This is Nightmaster, like first appearance of Nightmaster. And Doom Patrol was, you know, re-brought back in Showcase. This is after they die. You know, this is Doom Patrol Showcase 94. And then the very last issue of Showcase is 104. And it's a really great cover. This is like, you know, a Nazi cover and kind of a whole bunch of cool things going on. Really, this book is highly underrated for what it is. So let me just so you can see a bit better. Not a great cover. So yeah, that was cool. And then we got, as I said, it's the full collection. So I have to grab it all. Then we got the first Silver Age Spectre. And this is Showcase 60, first Silver Age Spectre. And also, what's his name? Amadeus, I think is his name, I believe. First appearances. And then we got, what else? Oh, this one's kind of a cool book. Showcase 22, first Green Lantern. One sec here. I'm running out of space to put them, so you got to forgive me. You can see how much I paid for this one. This is crazy. So I paid $3.50 for this. This is really bad shape. This is first appearance of the Challengers of the Unknown. This is Showcase 6. I believe Showcase 6. Yeah, Showcase 6. So it's in really rough shape. It's like, really put this in the back. But it's kind of cool. Challenger of the Unknown. And then we got another really rough shaped one. This is Space Ranger. This is the first appearance of Space Ranger. This is like in a really low grade, like just really rough. And then we got Showcase 16. Nothing really special about that book. And this is the first appearance of James Bond in the US, Dr. No. So kind of a cool book. And then we got, this is the one that you guys were talking about. The first Solomon Grundy and Our Man, Silver Age. So kind of a cool book. And that was 55, right? And then we got the first appearance of Psycho Pirate, Silver Age Psycho Pirate. So that's kind of cool. This is 56. And then we got Inferior 5, which is another weird kind of like a bunch of misfits. Inferior 5, first appearance. And this is kind of a grail book. This is showcase number 1, the very first showcase. And this is the first appearance of Fireman something. Fireman Farrell. So kind of a cool book. So yeah, so some really great showcase books. And there's some more. Do you guys want to see the other ones? It's a little, I have to kind of dig in a little deeper. There's like a lot of showcase books. Like it's just like a really great collection of showcase stuff. One of my favorite showcases, and I'll show you, this is one of my favorite showcase books, is Dolphin. What an awesome book. I love this cover. Isn't that a great cover? The first appearance of Dolphin. This is showcase number 79. It's one of the best Good Girl art covers of all time. Just a really beautiful cover. I just love that cover. And then we got showcase 34. First appearance of the Atom, Silver Age. What does it say? Origin and first appearance of the Silver Age Atom. First appearance of Jean Loring. So that's the first Silver Age Atom. Oh, so God think you found it. Okay, so that was one of the books that I showed in my unboxing. That's a really great book, totally underrated. You know, it's the first cover appearance of Gorilla Grodd. It's just, I don't know why it's so underrated. It's such a major book in my opinion, but congratulations on picking it up. Okay, so I have to grab some more stuff. Actually, I just saw somebody list this book for a crazy price. This is showcase 37, first Metal Men. I mean, this book, I didn't pay much for it. I think I paid about a couple $100 or $100. I don't know how much it was. You know, Metal Men. This is showcase 37. One sec here. I got to put it back in the bag. Kind of weird about that. Can't get it back in the bag. Get in the bag. Okay, and a couple more. Okay, so there's a few more, and they're all great. So I got to show them. These are just modern showcases. This is the first Mongol. This is like, I forgot what's in this, but it's just like a modern showcase. And then this is the first Mongol, I believe it's, or Mongol. I'm not sure if it's Mongol or Mongol in this one, but that's just the modern ones. One sec here. I'm going to grab, there's 3 more slabs to show. Actually, 4 more slabs to show. So we got, this is the first Adam Strange. This is showcase 17. Oh, hey, Gray Man. Gray Man's another really cool British dude. Another guy you guys have to check out his channel. He's always like, whenever Mark and I do our cover battles, like Mark and I, if you watch my Monday show, Mark and I will do these cover battles. Well, it's Gray Man is the guy that's the judge, and he's the one that's always the harsh judge. I want him. I think I have to pay him off and get him to give me better grades. But yeah. So that's the Gray Man. Really great to see you, Gray. So I'm just gradually showing all my showcase books. I have 3 more to show, and I gotta slide this chair in. So you gotta watch me climbing up and down. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go back down. Put you guys back down here. I was getting like fear of heights going on there. Okay, I had to climb all the way up there. Okay, so I'll show you the last 3 showcases in my collection. We got Showcase 58. You know, the interesting thing about this book, it's actually got a couple cool things about it that most people, this is actually not Showcase. This is All-Star. It just happens to be in my Showcase collection. This is All-Star 58. And if anyone knows this book, if you're familiar with this book, you know it's the first Power Girl. So you got Power Girl right there on the cover. It's her first appearance. But what people don't realize that this is actually All-Star #1 in a weird way. And the reason I say that is All-Star Comics was a golden age series that ran from 1 to 57. And then it stopped. And then they brought it back many years later as All-Star 58. So this is the first kind of like book from the second series of All-Star. So I always thought this was a really great book. This came out in 1976. So yeah, I always liked Power Girl. Like, yeah, another sexy girl. Obviously, I'm going to like it. And then we got some other ones. Some more. This is the Creeper, kind of one of these quirky characters. This is the first appearance of the Creeper, and this is Showcase 73. And it's a Steve Ditko cover. So yeah, so just kind of funny. You know, the Creeper, kind of a weird character. And then we got, this is actually kind of a cool book. I just really always liked this book. You know, it's a really great Power Girl cover. You know, it's Showcase 97. This is actually the first, like in Showcase, you get like the first series based on that character, like title within the series. So this is the first like Power Girl titled book. So this is Power Girl, and this is Showcase 97. Now I actually have more Showcase, but it's in different areas of my outside, because I have the Showcase with the first Aquaman and the first Aquaman title. So those are in my Aquaman collection, which is on the other side of the wall. I have another room outside where I have them. It's just walls of my slabs. So that's on the other side of the door that's in this room. So yeah, so that was my Showcase collection. You know, hey, this is what I do when I'm randomly running a video at at some time. Actually, I have one more Showcase that I know I can grab easily that I can show you guys. And if I just turn the camera this way, I can kind of show you. This long box right here has another Showcase. I don't know if do you guys like Showcase? Like Showcase is really, really weird. How it had so many awesome kind of key books. One sec here. One sec. I gotta find it. Oh man, where is it? I thought this would be easy to get. One sec here. Okay, here it is. This is a kind of a key book, but it's worth the wait for me to get this book out. This is Showcase number 9. Another big book for Showcase. This is the first title for Lois Lane. So after this, so what they would do in Showcase is they would try whatever book. So they would do like a title with Lois Lane, for example, and if it sold well, if it ran well, then they would later on come out with a book for that character. So after Showcase 9 was successful, they came out with Lois Lane number 1. So they would always kind of do that, where they would basically try it out in Showcase first, and then they would, bring it out as a regular series on its own. So I always thought that was kind of cool about Showcase. So Showcase is one of those series where it's just filled with keys. It's like key after key after key within Showcase. Very underappreciated series because it just has so many keys in it. It's one that people kind of look at. Yeah, actually, Grayman, I actually showed Adam earlier. It's like, let me see if I can find it again for you. Yeah, here. So Gray, here's the first Adam. Oops, wait. Whatever. I saw that you said, oh yeah, here it is, this one. Yeah, and the first Flash, I showed that as well. Oof. And there's the first Flash, number 4. You're right about number 4. Okay, so that's maybe a little bit better if you can see it over there. So yeah, so Showcase had some really amazing books in it. The Showcase number 4, which is the first Flash, is just such an important book because it's not only is it the first Flash, but it's it really marked the Silver Age of comics. That book kind of started this Silver Age for DC. They basically refigured out what the characters should be like in the Silver Age. So it was not their Golden Age version of the Flash. Now it's like a new character, almost like a complete redesign of the character, and like a whole new way of looking at the superhero characters. So kind of really important book. I always thought Showcase 4 is like a really important book for DC. Definitely one that I was super excited to get. I only have 3 Power Girl. Let me put it up. I only have 3 Power Girl issues of Showcase, but I'd love to pick up the Dolphin cover. It was actually kind of one of those books that you could have picked up. Dolphin, which is Showcase 79, for really inexpensive. It was a cheap book. I paid $100 for mine. Now it's like a $200-300 book. It's just one of those ones that people started to realize, hey, this is a pretty cool book. It's also gotten hot recently. Like the Showcase 79 has gotten hot because of controversy, actually. It's so funny. Because of, what's her name? Oh, what's the girl's name? The girl from that plays Mara. Okay, so she, her and Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. So Amber Heard, went through crazy stuff. Now they're thinking of replacing Mira in the Aquaman movies with Dolphin. So the Dolphin books all of a sudden have sort of spiked in price. It's kind of interesting how that book has now become hot. I picked it up because I just love the cover. I wasn't really specking on Dolphin necessarily. I was just appreciating the beautiful cover. I buried it. It's totally buried now, but I should almost show it again. Yeah, where did I put it? See, this is what happens. I pulled out like 1 million books out of there. And they all got buried. One sec here. Let me see if I can find it quickly. I just love it. One sec here. Oh, what a mess. Okay. Just such a beautiful cover. Isn't that insane? So yeah, it's like such a great cover. And this is one of those books that sometimes I've actually seen it recently. I want to say 2-3 months ago in not a dollar bin, but sort of a back issue bin where they had it really priced low. I was like, it was like 20-30 bucks. Really I was like, what? It's one of those books that really, it was under the radar. It was just not one that a lot of even like comic vendors really appreciated. And it's kind of sad, actually. It's such a great book. And you could like, it was sometimes like mixed in with like cheaper books. Just a really great book. They actually so the dolphin is beautiful. Crazy for a character that is barely used. They actually used Dolphin later on, and do I have it handy? Actually, I picked up some of her later, more recent appearances. One sec here, if I can find it. Now, I don't know where I put it. Finding anything in this room is a little challenging. But yeah, they did reuse Dolphin later. And there's actually a first, more modern appearance of Dolphin as well that you can pick up. Yeah, she was in you're right. So she was in the Aquaman series in the 90s. And there's a sort of a modern first appearance of Dolphin that you can pick up. Yeah, so actually, so I didn't actually buy the one, even though it was like really, really cheap. Sometimes, like if I have a book in my collection and I see it in the wild cheap, I sometimes pick it up. But at the same time, I was feeling kind of in that mood where I wanted to leave it for somebody else to find because I already had it and I had a better graded copy. So I kind of thought, I'll let somebody else find it and they'll enjoy it and they'll appreciate it. So I kind of left it in that box. So probably someday somebody will go and search where I searched and they'll find it and they'll be like, oh, wow, Dolphin for 20 bucks. That's so cheap. So yeah, so sometimes I do that where I just kind of leave some really great books back because I don't already have them. So why pick them up again? I don't like the idea of like hoarding books and preventing other collectors from getting them. So sometimes I'm a little weird that way. Wow. Okay. So Grayman's like the expert on Dolphin here. She has a baby with Tempest, Aqualad, and then is killed. Okay. See, this is stuff. I didn't actually know that about Dolphin. So that's pretty cool. What else? Wait. Should have brought it and sent it to me and sure straight 11s on other cover channel. Oh, that would have been, yeah, I could have bribed you with Dolphin. I didn't realize you liked that book so much. But yeah, that would have been a great bribe. So yeah, it's one of those things. I almost feel like kicking myself for not picking it up because it's, when you see those kind of things, it's like, do I pick it up? Like, it's like you almost feel guilty for picking it up when it's like so, like when you already have it and that maybe some other I don't know, it's just kind of weird. I don't know. Sometimes I kind of kick myself. I do sometimes pick them up and then other times I feel guilty about it. I don't know. I'm kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if other people feel that way. Like if you have a book in your collection already and you see it in the wild for a reasonable price or a really good price, do you pick it up again? Or do you let it sit there for some other collector to find? Or do you say, hey, look, this is a really great book and tell the vendor to double the price? So yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just curious what other people do in that circumstance. I'm kind of weird. Sometimes I pick it up, sometimes I don't. There was a time when I was picking up stuff like that if I saw it, because I was thinking, oh, I'll do like for my 2,000 subscriber giveaway or my 3,000 subscriber giveaway, I'll, get some of these big books. So Lyle says, yes, you'd buy it. So probably you're smart, Lyle. I'm not so smart, maybe. I don't know. Sometimes I buy it, sometimes I don't. I get sort of two minds about it. Because sometimes I feel a little guilty. I don't know why. I feel guilty for potentially preventing some other collector from getting some cool book. I don't know. It's just a weird thing. But usually I will buy it. Usually. Yeah. So it's kind of weird. But there's sometimes when you have to kind of hold back on buying every single cool book that you see at a great price. This week actually has been one of those weeks where I've seen so many great books at really great prices, and I'm like, I really want to buy that. I want to buy that. I want to buy and you get to kind of hold back because you'll have no money left. So yeah, one sec here. If that ever happens to me, I'll let you know and what to do. Okay, cool. So yeah, so I don't know. There's been so many books lately that I've been picking up. I've been really in the mood for like doing a lot of run filling lately. I've been trying to collect certain runs and get them. I was so excited. Oh my goodness. This was something really big. And I told you that there's a big unboxing that I'm getting next week. Like it's massive. It actually makes my current unboxing that I'm showing in the videos look small. But in that unboxing is something really awesome. It is just, I'm so excited. Like I'm one of those people that's I like getting the whole run of something. So Hulk, was 1 through 6. It was 6 books. Really cool. I had like if you look at my wall, I have Hulk 1 and 2, and then in back I have Hulk 6. So I was just missing 3 issues. And it was strange, but those 3 issues came up on auction and I won all 3 of them. I was like, wow. So those 3 books, those 3 Hulk books are coming up in that box. I'm just so excited because to get that run of 1 through 6 of Hulk, I was just so excited. So yeah, so that's something I was just thinking about. I like as I'm looking around my room, I think about different things. So Captain Marvel 128 is a book that I will want if I see it in the wild, but it is always known that it is the book that needs to be appreciated more by more collectors. Sorry, it's real. Like I'm doing this on my cell phone, just so you know. So when I'm reading your comments, by the way, I'm like squinting. I really can barely read the comments. They're so small. So forgive my reading here. Captain Marvel Adventures 128. Just one sec. Hold that thought. Oh, sorry. You're probably wondering, what the hell is he doing? Okay, so yeah, I thought I had it handy, but I don't have 128 handy. So I have 150, but not like in the other room I have like my Captain Marvel, but they're kind of buried. So yeah, that's Captain Marvel. But that's another great Captain Marvel, by the way. But one sec here. Okay, I had to close the door. Sound will be a bit better. One sec here. One sec. Oh, my vision's getting terrible. You have a massive unboxing video every week. Yeah, actually, you know what's funny? So I schedule out my videos. So that unboxing, actually, I opened 3 weeks ago. So what you're seeing with my unboxings is what I do is I order stuff throughout the month. and I send it all to Stackery. And then what I'll do is I'll get like just a massive collection of books because I'm always buying stuff. And then what happens is I then make that into 8 videos or whatever number of videos to show that massive collection that I get. Well, because I'm showing other content, those 8 videos usually last 2 to 3 weeks before you see the whole unboxing. So then after that unboxing comes the next box. So it's always that I'm recording 1 month before you guys get to see it. So a lot of the time, the stuff that you guys are seeing is stuff that I unboxed a month ago. Like that's a little secret about what I'm showing on my channel. And it's just because the way it works, like there's just so much content that I'm putting out that, you know, it gets scheduled out a month in advance, basically. So sometimes it's kind of funny, actually. I feel kind of weird. Sometimes I'll show in videos throughout the month the comics that I haven't actually shown in unboxing yet. So, hey, Biggie. Wow, Biggie Shaq is here. Wow. Always, what a great guy. Another great channel. Like, I'm so honored by so many great people here today. Yeah, Biggie is a good friend of the channel. Great guy. Like, he is like, you know, the king of men amongst men. He is the immortal Biggie Shaq. He's awesome. Actually, if you, this Saturday, this is like an announcement, just a quick announcement about Biggie Shaq. I am going to be interviewing Biggie Shaq. Is going to be the Saturday video this week is Biggie Shaq. My interview with him. Great interview, really fun. It was like really fun to just talk comics with Biggie. So that's this weekend on Saturday. I'll be showing that video. So yeah, it was fun. He's had me on his channel so many times. I always have fun. I'm always like just showing books. I'm like, here's a cool book. Here's a book. I always have fun on his channel. He does a show every 2 weeks on a Friday, like a live show, and he sometimes invites me. I'm honored whenever he does. And I you know, he lets me show some books, and like I'm always like just grabbing some random books off my walls and showing them. So yeah, it's always fun being on Biggie's channel. So yeah, yeah, it's just, yeah, what a great guy. So yeah, so Biggie actually is one of those guys that he's doing what I aspire to do. That I really like the idea of like building this comic community. He is doing it. He every Friday or every second Friday, he is doing that on his channel where he gets like a whole panel of people and they're all just talking comics. And he always gets these really great guests. Like one of my favorite guys that he gets on his channel is Caveman Comics. Man Cave Comics. I said it the opposite way. Man Cave Comics. He has like he makes my collection look so lame. He has like some amazing stuff. Man Cave. So definitely, if you haven't checked out Biggie's Friday live show, definitely worth watching. And he always gives like some giveaway. He gives like these cool little necklaces. That's always fun. So yeah, so it's just really great show. Sometimes you'll see me on there whenever Biggie invites me. And I'm always honored to be on that show. So it's really great. And there's some other really great guests on there. Like there's this, Biggie, what's the guy's name? I always forget his name, the black guy. But he collects the exact same stuff as I do. He always collects the same stuff. It's like, I feel like he's somebody that is like my clone or something like that. He has all this good girl art stuff. I forget his name. But some really great guys on that channel. Matt. Oh, it's like forgetting his name. Thank you. Matt. He's another really great collector. Yeah, he is just like, as Biggie says, it's like so Matt, and then it's his collector's crew is what he calls them. Is like these kind of inner circle of awesome collectors. So it's Man Cave, Matt. Sometimes he'll have Boston. What's Boston? Boston Nick, is it? Or Boston, something Boston, Boston guy. So, you know, a bunch of really awesome collectors, and you'll have them sort of as a panel, and they'll all show their biggest books. And it's just like big book after big book. Yeah, but Matt is kind of like one of my, you know, I like doppelganger. He is definitely somebody that has similar books to me. You know, he's my race swap. If I was going to be race swapped in a TV series, Matt would be my race swap. He's just me, but with dark skin. He's just such a great guy. Yeah, Boston Chris. I was like going through Boston things. So yeah, Boston Chris is the other guy, and just another guy with amazing collection. It's like a group of, like, on Biggie's show, it's like all these guys. You just imagine bringing like some of the best collectors into one show, and that's what you have. It's just like them all pulling grails off. So everybody's trying to one up each other. It's so funny because everyone's just like pulling out awesome book after awesome book. So it's really fun. And then another one is yeah, Hudat is another great guy. Hudat is always showing these like amazing books. He's kind of a seller. He buys and sells books, and you know, he does on Instagram a lot of really great stuff. Hudat is a really great collector. You know, I've almost bought a bunch of books from him. I'm trying to get him to sell me his Ninja Turtle stuff. So Hudat is another great guy. He's a guy that I'm hoping he'll agree to do an interview with me on one of my Saturday videos, because another great collector. All these guys are really great. So definitely got to check out Biggie's Friday show, and just his channel in general. He's got some really great content. Yeah, just I don't know. I'm so happy to have met Biggie. He was one of the first, like when my channel was really small, he was one of the first people that welcomed me onto his channel and basically gave me a platform to kind of babble about comics. So I was very thankful to Biggie for that. So yeah, just a really great guy. Yeah, so that's kind of funny. Yeah, so wow, okay. What else can I talk about? So I'm just almost killing time because my family's being lame, so I'm all ignored in my comic room. Yeah, so what else can I show you? I'm just looking around my room. Like there's so many things that, like, whenever I come into my comic room, I almost get lost in thoughts because I just see so many books that are cool that I love looking at. What did you, okay. It's kind of, it's so, oh wait, I can barely read. Sorry, you're too kind. Big fan of your collection and your channel too. Thank you, Biggie. Thanks. Okay. As I said, like the screen that I'm using is really, really tiny. It's like, this is like doing like the eye exam, reading the comments. It's so funny, but I'm really trying. I'm at that, like, just so you know, I wear contact lenses, and I'm at that age where contact lenses are great if I'm seeing something from far away, but I'm at that age where if it's something close, I can barely read it with my with my contacts. It's like I'm just at that right age where I might have to start getting, like, you know, the little bifocals or something kind of lame. So what else? Biggie says, we had a great new top 50 from the Beauty Comics. You should check it out later. Oh, yeah. So another thing, actually, good thing you reminded me, Biggie. Yeah, so Biggie is right now doing you should check out his community page. This is a big cool thing you can find on Biggie's thing. Go to Biggie's community page. He has like this list of everyone that's doing their top 50 comics from their collections. And it's just like cool collection after cool collection. What's the guy's name? Was it Dope Comics or something like that? He has like this golden age collection of pre-code horror. It was like really awesome. There was some really great videos. I watched them all. I thought they were great. The top 50 videos of people's collections. It's always like, for me, I really enjoy watching other people's top 50 or these kind of books that they have in their collections, because sometimes you see these really obscure books. It's not like just Hulk 181, X-Men 1 all the time. It's like really obscure books that are actually really cool that you never see. And it's, you know, one of those things where I'll end up buying maybe a couple of the books that I see. So I just, man, I love those top 50 videos. So definitely check out Biggie's channel for that. That was really cool. So Lyle, yeah, I think Lyle, I think you mentioned that you're born in the 60s, if I'm right. I think I remember that in one of your comments to me. Like I'm a 1973 child, so that gives you a sense of my age. So I'm an old fart too. I'm like, well, middle age fart. I don't know how it works, but yeah. So yeah. Next January, it will be my 50th birthday. I'm kind of looking forward to it, actually. I'm one of those people that actually doesn't mind getting old. I think it's cool to get old, as long as you stay young at heart. So, oh, wow. So, Lyle, you're 1955. Wow. That, in terms of comics, that is actually kind of a sad year. That's just like, that's the end of the golden age. That was when the code came in. That's kind of a bad year in terms of comics. Like, you know, I mean, it's a cool time to be alive because you're right at the age where you're like, when you get into the silver age, you're at the age where you're buying off the shelf really awesome books. But it's kind of a bad age in terms of you know, what happened with the golden age and the code getting in. So you started collecting in 68. Hopefully you picked up the books from like the early 60s when, you know, if you're collecting the 68, but yeah, but yeah, getting old sure beats the alternative. What's the alternative to getting old? Like, I'm not sure what that is. But yeah, so yeah, it's kind of funny. So yeah, I mean, there are some collectors that like if you've been collecting since like 68, which is a really, you know, you've experienced all the really, you know, I actually have it. Where do I have it? Oh, one sec. I want to show you guys something. One sec here. I gotta grab it. Okay. Well, this is not quite the one that I wanted to show, but I was picking up these old price guides, right? And the reason I say this is like because Lyle was saying that. Oh, okay. So Grayman says dying young. Yeah. Yes, you're right. That's better. It's better to live and be old than die young. Yes, I agree. Oh, and Biggie's from 81. Biggie's just a baby. He's just a young lad compared to us old people. But so yeah. So yeah, so what I was going to say is like if you started collecting in 1968 and if you if like I picked up these old price guides. This is from, I forget when this is from, but this is from like I think from 76 or somewhere around there. I can't read it, but where is it? It's something like this is like the old price guides. But if you read these price guides, you see like Action 1, it's like $1,000 or something crazy, or you know, it's like so cheap. All the books back then were so insanely cheap. You know, I wish I could have collected when I was a baby. I would have had like the most awesome collection. Like, but yeah, when I hear of collectors from like that collected before I collected, I just think, oh man, they must have amazing collections. Yeah, so it's crazy to think that you have all the Warren Publishing. So yeah, so actually, if you look at the wall behind me, that wall right there, that's all magazines. So in behind the books, so in behind the comics, it's like deep. It's all Warren Publishing. That's that wall is all Warren Publishing. So that's my Warren collection right there. Yeah, so it's a massive collection. And it's like, so that one right there, that was Famous Monsters, the full run of Famous Monsters. Then there's Vampirella, Eerie, Creepy, pretty much everything. Well, everything actually. But and then I have on the wall over here, I have foreign Warrens. So I couldn't fit all the Warrens just in that one space. I had to actually get more space over here to get all my foreign ones. And I have a massive collection of foreign ones too. Sorry, I like looking at the old, okay, 1 second. So yeah, I like looking at the old guides too. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Wizard magazine. I'm not sure if you guys appreciate Wizard, but I loved Wizard magazine. I loved getting the Overstreet guides as well. I just love seeing how the prices have changed over the time. I just think it's really great. Nowadays we're kind of spoiled with like Go Collect and all these things now. It's just we're so spoiled that you get access to up-to-date information. So yeah, it's just crazy how much information there is. Oh, hey, Lady Pop Hunter, that's cool. I like when people that I see on the comments a lot, like Lady Pop Hunter, I see a lot in the comments. I always appreciate people when they comment on my videos a lot. She always comments on my videos, so I'm very appreciative of that. So nice to meet you. So yeah. So what was it? I gotta read all these things. Foreign Warrens. So foreign Warrens, they're really cool. Some of them are really they have some really awesome covers that they did. My favorite sort of Warren covers of foreign Warren magazines are from Mexico. So what happened was Mexico, they're kind of sketchy. What happened is what they did was Vampirella was a hot product. It was like a hot comic. It was a hot magazine, I guess. And they didn't want to buy the rights to publishing Vampirella in Mexico. So what they did is they just did it anyways because they don't care. They don't care about copyright. So what they did is they published these, it's almost like photo magazines where it's these Mexican versions of Vampirella, and they're just wild. I mean, just insane. So you got this half naked woman or naked woman on the cover, and you got like midgets, and in Mexico they love wrestling, so they'll mix wrestling with naked women and Vampirella, like where all the people will wear teeth, like vampire teeth. It's just crazy. It's just the Mexican Vampirellas are insane. They're just fun stuff. Oh wait, Lady Pop, my head exploded when you told me how many collections. Yeah, my comic books it's a huge collection. I read your comment about that. I didn't reply to you, but yeah, it's a big collection. I've been collecting for a long time. It just adds up, and I've been going a little crazy lately buying too many books, but I ended up getting this massive collection as a result. Just so many years of collecting. The funny thing about old guides, people are at the time gave Overstreet a very hard time about what they consider to be the too high prices for key books. Yeah, actually I heard about that. That even when they listed like Action 1 as like $1,000 or a couple $1,000, people said, oh, that's too much for a comic book. It's kind of funny that the attitudes towards comics have really changed, even in the time like from the 90s to now. Like the 90s comics were super hot, and yet they were not near the prices that we see nowadays. Like when I see a modern book, I think my Miles Morales, which is right up there, and it's selling for like $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000. I think, wow, for a modern book, like that's a lot of money. Like people have no problem spending $2,000-3,000 on a book nowadays. And I just think that's that the attitude towards comics and how much people are willing to spend on them has really shifted. It's in a way it's kind of annoying because it makes everything so expensive. It's like everything's so expensive now. Yeah, it's just kind of crazy how the prices have changed and attitudes towards spending money on comics. Foreign comics or magazines from the Philippines are impressive to find. Yeah, the weird thing is, Lyle, actually, strangely enough, I've been to the Philippines 3 times because I actually have to go there for work. So the way my business works is I have my office in the Philippines because I have my employees, or like some of my employees. I have multiple offices, but one of my offices is in the Philippines. And so I went there. I flew there 3 times to set it up, like the office, and hire people and do all the training and stuff like that. The funny thing is, I was so busy with work, I didn't get a chance to look for comics when I was in the Philippines. So I almost want to get my staff that's over there to start hunting for Philippines books, because it'd be really cool to get foreign editions of some of these Warren books, and because they did publish some in the Philippines. But yeah, they would be kind of clueless. They wouldn't know how to look. Yeah, so it's something that, yeah, maybe the next time that I fly to the Philippines, which is always painful. If you've ever gone like really overseas, like that is a painful travel. Like flying to the Philippines is one of the worst experiences of my life in terms of flight. It was a 34-hour flight. 34 hours that I spent, like travel, I should say. It wasn't all flying, but like it was so brutal. The funny thing is, what happens is you fly, like I'm flying from Toronto. You fly from Toronto to Vancouver, and then you fly to like somewhere like Tokyo or somewhere like that, and then you fly down to Manila, which is the capital of the Philippines. But then the Philippines is kind of a messed up country in terms of the way it's geographically designed, I guess. Like it's not really designed, but it's a bunch of islands. So it's like all these islands. And my office is not in Manila. It's in Iloilo. And so you have to fly from Manila down to Iloilo. And it's just like, everything's like island hopping in the Philippines. It's just very disconnected country. So that little flight from Manila to Iloilo is brutal. It's like the crappiest of planes that they always use. It's like one of those small planes that you're just worried that, is it going to actually fly? It's really sketchy. And every time I'm always paranoid with that one leg from Manila to Iloilo. And it's not even a long flight. It's like a very short flight. It's like a 30-minute to an hour long flight. But the last time I flew there, we almost crashed. Actually, they had to, we hit some turbulence or something. And we hit turbulence when, how when they serve food, they always like, even on a short flight, they always like bring out like coffee or something like that. And what happened was they just turned off all the seatbelt signs. They had just given everybody their coffees and drinks to drink. And we hit turbulence. And when I say we hit turbulence, I mean we hit turbulence. The plane literally jumped or dropped 20, 30 feet in the air. It went like suddenly, just boom. And what happened was like all the drinks that people had on their little tables flew up. You could see them flying up in there and just splattered all over the ceiling everywhere. The coffee everywhere. People were getting sprayed by coffee. It was insane. And one of the stewardesses that was like delivering the coffee to people, she got thrown up into the air and bashed her head off the ceiling of the plane and was knocked out, completely knocked out, blood everywhere. It was crazy. And there was like, everyone was like so freaked out by this whole turbulence thing. They're quickly getting their buckles on. It was like, and everyone was panicking. Filipinos are very religious too. They were all like praying. They're like, oh God, blah, blah, blah. It was like such a crazy scene. And that was my last trip to the Philippines. That was my last experience at that crazy flight. Oh my goodness. Like I thought, man, this is how I'm going to die. Going to the Philippines to set up an office. Yeah, it was so crazy. It was like, man, the worst flight of my life. They actually had to redirect us to, where's the place where they have all the mangoes? They redirected us to another airport because it was just so much turbulence around Iloilo that they had to send us out to some other place. It was so crazy. It was like, oh my goodness, what are they doing? We came in to land in Iloilo, and there was so much wind or something going on, or storm or something. We came in, and just as we were about to land, it looked like we were going to land. At the last second, they swooped back up in the air. It's like, whoa. And then they were like, oh, we can't land. And it was like, what? And then they had us fly over to some other place. They had to have like ambulances come and everything to take this stewardesses that got injured off the plane. They had to bring new staff onto the plane. It was just so crazy. Oh man. So yeah, not normal situation. That was my crazy story of flying to the Philippines. Yeah, don't recommend it. but great country. Philippines is like a very beautiful country, by the way. And the people are just amazing. Like, really nice people. But I actually really like Filipinos in general because if you know me in real life, I'm not very tall. I'm 5'7", so I'm a pretty short guy. And in the Philippines, I felt like a giant. Everyone's so short there. Like the average height is like 4'10", and for men it's like 5'0". It's like really everybody's short. So I felt like a giant. I felt like really big for once in my life, and it was like I feel like so cool. Because everyone's so short. I kind of like that feeling of being like really tall in like such a short person country. The younger generation is getting taller though, but it was funny. Everyone was really short. I really like that. I'm weird. But it's a country designed for short people too. So if you ever go to the Philippines, you got to experience going on a jeepney. A jeepney is their version of kind of like a bus / taxi, if that makes sense. And it's basically like if you imagine taking a bus and then chopping it down so it's half the height, and it's just like it's almost like if you stood up, you're going to get decapitated. It's like it's really like short, and so you got to kind of hunch over in order to get in. But because everyone's short, they don't get really affected by it. But I was like bending over. I'm like, this is really cramped, and it's just so weird. But jeepneys are really cool. Really cool way. They always decorate them too. Like they have these crazy decorations on them. So definitely something to check out. Like I can't recommend enough the Philippines. Great people and just beautiful country and a really fun place to visit. So that was very off topic, very tangent like. I know it's not comic related, but I just was thinking about my time in the Philippines. Really great country. Okay. That was just very random. So yeah, what else? What else was I going to show? I almost feel like showing you something. I keep on holding these books back where there's a bunch of books and they're right in front of me. That's why I'm thinking about it. I'm going to just pull it over here because I have this cool set of books here. So this set of books, every so often on my channel, and based on just having time or not to do it, what I do is I do my Guess Who. Okay, where I show like some random comic, like for example, this random comic Okay. And you have to guess who is in, like, what is the key significance about the book. So basically, I picked a stack of books. These are all like really cool, under the radar, totally under the radar books, where people don't realize that they have some key significance, and you can pick them up usually for under $10, but they're all like really cool books. So like, for example, this is another one. Does anyone watching the chat, does anyone know what cool thing there is about this other than it's a giant rat? Do you know what cool significance this book is? If you're smart enough to figure this out, let's see how many people actually know. So yes, this is the first Alex Ross. You're right. But do you guys know what this one is? Let's see how smart people are. This is Elsnor is the name of the comic. And it is it's a major key that most people don't even know that this is a major key. You can pick this book up all day long for under $10, under $5 sometimes. You know, it's just a cheap book, but it is a major book. This is the first comic art by Fiona Staples. Kind of a cool book. She's the one that does the art for Saga. So if you're familiar with that series, this is where that artist made their first commercial artwork. So kind of a cool book. So I just, and I have like this stack of books that all have these kind of cool little quirky first appearances or things like that, you know, like, you know, this one, or, you know, this is another one. Most people probably don't know what it is. This has got a cool key significance too. Like, so I'm into like my background is I'm into search engine optimization. And as a result, I'm very good at searching for things. I'm really good. And so I get into these rabbit holes where I collect comics that I like, my key first appearances. I love finding like, oh, first artwork by some of these, you know, such and such, or first appearance of some random character. And I just have this stack of these kind of things where it's like these cool first appearances. Like some of them are a little bit more known. For example, like this one. Everybody knows this one for the most part. Let's see who's got the fastest fingers, who can type what key first appearances in this book. Let's see who's the fastest typer. Oh, nobody's getting it. Okay, well, this is the first Dark Side. So yeah, just a, you know, kind of cool first appearances. One sec here. Coincidentally, I just figured out the new comics, now comics on my channel in underrated key book segment. Yeah. So yeah, so these are all underrated books. Yeah, see, Dark Side. See, maybe I'm not getting the chats that quickly. I think I'm like your chat, like people's chats are coming up late. Here's a cool book that, like, again, so I just had this stack of really cool books. This is another cool book. Most people don't realize how cool book this is. Does anyone know this one? This is Mix Zine. Well, okay, so Gray. Okay, I gotta argue about this one. So Dark Side, everyone says Superman's Jimmy Olsen, Superman's pal, whatever number it is the first appearance of Dark Side or cameo. Okay, the cameo is so small in that Superman's pal book. It is like literally in the background. There's a TV, and on the TV, in a very little picture, is yes, 134. Yes, thank you, Biggie. So Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, number 134. It is like a little TV with a little picture of Darkseid's head. You can sort of see that it's Darkseid, but very hard to see. That to me is like, is that really a first appearance? Is that the first cameo? It's like so it's more expensive of the two books. It's kind of crazy. I actually have that book as well, but I always thought it was sort of a lame first appearance or first cameo. I thought it was kind of weird. Yeah, he's on the screen. It's something really silly, really. But yeah, I agree. So yeah. Yeah, so Biggie, you're right. That Superman's pal, actually, it's a really great cover. So that Jimmy Olsen Superman's pal thing, 134 is a great cover. It's got Superman. He looks like he's dead. He's being carried off. Looks cool. That's maybe why people like it better than the Forever People, which is kind of a weird looking cover. Yeah, so Grayman, yeah. It annoys me because that comic costs a bomb because of that. Yeah, it's really weird that cameo, which is a really lame cameo, by the way, goes for crazy price, whereas the first appearance of Darkseid goes for really half the price. It's pretty insane to me. Here's a rare, cool comic. Flash Rainbow Raider. Whitman 266. I'm not familiar with that book. Yeah, I'd have to look it up. Yeah, so maybe you might see that book. If it's a cool book, I might pick it up. Whitman 286. I'll have to look it up. I might even already have it, but I'd have to look it up. So yeah. So, but does anyone know what this is? First, this has like so many cool first appearances, by the way. If you're into anime, this is a cool book to pick up. This is the first appearance of Sailor Moon. The Sailor Moon, Parasite, which is another cool anime. And what else? There was one more. I forgot what it was. But yeah, but mainly, like, I picked it up because it's first Sailor Moon. I'm lame. I actually like Sailor Moon. So it's kind of a cheesy show, but I don't know why I liked it. I thought it was kind of funny. So yeah, Sailor Moon, first appearance. So yeah, so I just had this stack. I'm going to make videos, like each one of these represents a video that I plan to make. I just haven't had a chance to make them all. Yeah, so mix, this is the one to look for. Definitely a very key issue. Yeah. Trying to remember. Okay, some of these I have to remember what the key significance is. I wish I almost should have written on the back of them. So just like some really cool books in here, though. Yeah, some really cool ones. This one's actually really great. I actually want to show you this one. I'll do one more kind of cool one that I want to show you before I show some other things. This is a really great one. Not many people would know what this one is. So this is Adventures into the Unknown. So I probably most people wouldn't know this one. So this is the first appearance of King Kong. So not many people know this book, though. This is the first appearance of King Kong in comics. So just kind of a cool book. It's actually a fairly pricey book, despite not people knowing what it is. It's still a pricey book. Do you do top 10 list? So sometimes I do top 10 lists, but not often. It's not sort of my style. So typically my videos are a lot of unboxings and a lot of videos where I answer people's questions. I show Golden Age stuff. I also do my top 10 cool covers within a theme. And also I do my interviews now. And I do some random stuff where I comment about movies and stuff like that as well. And I always get in trouble when I comment about movies, but you know, you just have like, I have an opinion. I always have an opinion that seems to trigger people. I don't know why, but yeah. So so do I do top 10 lists? Kind of, not really. No one can know that it is unknown. Yeah, you're right. It is unknown. The adventures into the unknown. So that's kind of funny. Yeah, so yes, Black Box, Silver and Bronze, another great guy, by the way. Yeah, he's going to be on the interviews as well. He's coming up in a future video. I do a lot of unboxings, but I think my unboxings are fun. I don't know. I enjoy them. It's fun for me. It's kind of like Christmas when I do my unboxings. I really enjoy, getting the comics out of the boxes and stuff and showing some cool comics. Yeah, so yeah, if you guys watch the current series that I'm doing, like those 8 videos, it is pretty insane, some of the stuff that I showed. I actually, because I recorded that video, that set of 8 videos about a month ago. And when I was like, I just recently rewatched my own videos because I didn't realize all the stuff that I was pulling out. It's just so many great things. Oh, whoops, wait. So good night, Gray. Thanks for coming. I can't believe you stayed up till 2 to just watch me babble about comics. That's pretty great. Thank you. Thank you for coming, Gray. Good night, by the way. Open by chance. Your passion for them makes it fun. Okay, well, good. I'm glad it makes it fun. Okay, and thank you, Black Box. So so just so you know, I mentioned that this Saturday I will be doing my video with Biggie. I think, well, I'm actually recording a video with Black Box, Silver and Bronze, another great channel, by the way. And we're going to do our interview, and that will air probably in November based on how I've got my schedule. I've already recorded a bunch of videos, but Black Box, Silver and Bronze is going to get interviewed on this channel as well. So another great channel to look out for and an interview to watch for. How much are all the All-Stars, JSA, Golden Age comics are worth? So yeah, so depends on the book. So there are key issues, right? So the big books for All-Star Comics are number 1. It's a pretty pricey book, obviously. Number 3, and that's the first appearance of the JSA. So that book usually goes for anywhere from 10,000 plus kind of range. So low grade is a $10,000 book, and it just goes up from there. And number 4 is the first JSA like where they actually do like something together as a team. Like, I don't know how to describe that. What do you, like, team action? I don't know what it is, but they do, like adventure as a team. Like they first form in number 3, but then they actually go out on an adventure in number 4. Number 5, action All-Star number 5 is the first appearance of Hawk Girl. Number 7 is the first, I think it's Johnny Flash joins or it's the first cover with Batman Robin, or no, Batman Superman. And number 8, All-Star 8, is like a $40,000 book. Because it has the first Wonder Woman, so All-Star 8. And then there's a whole bunch of keys within the All-Stars, like the first Fiddler, the first Unjustice Society, and all those books are kind of big keys within the Justice All-Star comics. And you know, typically if it's a non-key issue, they go for around $1,000 plus, you know, based on the grade. There are some that are actually pretty affordable, and they're actually pretty cool issues. I think 14 is like one of those weirdly affordable issues where I just see it come up a lot. And it's usually, when I'm saying affordable, I mean it's not thousands of dollars, it's more like hundreds of dollars, which sounds still expensive, but it's more affordable. As I said, it really, like, the series only ran till 57, so it ran from issues number 1 to 57. And as you get later in the series, they get a little bit cheaper. There's a few that are kind of command a bit of money in the later issues that have robots on them, like robot covers. There's always collectors that collect robot covers, so those ones for some reason command a bit more money. Yeah, you can pick up some pretty affordable All-Stars. Actually, it was really funny. And actually, I told Alex this. He's not on anymore, but Alex, the comic hoarder, was watching earlier this video, and he had just done an auction, like a claim sale on his site, on his channel. And he had an All-Star, I think it was in the 30s, and it was a low grade. It was like a 1.0. And he sold it for $50. Now, for an All-Star, any issue of All-Star, $50 is insanely cheap. Is insanely cheap. Typically, even like a coverless copy of any All-Star, like it doesn't matter what the issue is, the minimum that you can buy a coverless copy, like no, like just crappy version of All-Star, is about $100. So to sell it for 50 with it was a great price. Somebody did really well. I missed out on that claim sale. I came late and I missed out. I would have totally picked that up. But yes, the All-Stars are fairly pricey books, just so you know. So I hope that, I don't know, hope that answers your question. I actually have a fairly, like, I'm trying to get a run of all the All-Star comics. I'm not doing that well at it. I have about maybe 10 issues out of the 57, or, you know, it's like, so I'm you know, working on it. I have some of the keys at least. So yeah, those are books that I'd really love to find. They're just really hard to find, All-Stars. If you know, you have to almost go to like the big auction sites to get them. And usually if you go there, there's all other people that are doing the same. And it's just like, you know, it's crazy. So wait, what's this? I bought a coverless comic, Dick Cole #2 from 1949 for $3. That's cheap. Yeah, it's not too bad. So sometimes you can find those deals where it's like, you know, like I actually picked up my coolest coverless comic is I picked up Pep 1. Like Pep Comics is the comic series that led to Archie. And I picked up a Pep 1 for I think it was $150, $170, somewhere around there. You know, that to me was a great deal. You know, Pep 1 is just an ultra rare book, and it's just like highly sought after. And to get even like just a coverless version of it is actually a pretty pricey book. Recently, a friend of mine told me about a Pep 22, which is the first appearance of Archie, that they were trying to sell. That not them, but somebody that they knew was trying to sell, and it was commanding big money. like it's amazing how even coverless copies now are going for big money. There was an auction recently I just saw where some, you know, big keys, but they were going, and they were coverless copies, they were going for thousands of dollars. There's actually a new thing that I'm seeing a lot more of, and you guys can comment about this if you've seen this too, where you take like a book like Batman 1, okay? You buy like the cheapest version of it, which is a coverless copy, right? Now, a coverless copy of Batman 1 might cost you $5,000 typically. around that range, 5, maybe a little bit more. You know, you can buy a coverless copy of Batman 1. Okay, so and then what they do is they'll take those pages and they'll cut them out. So, you know, you get like whatever number of pages, and they'll actually sell individual pages from a Batman 1 for $1,000 each. So you can actually make more money taking like these coverless copies and selling the pages than if you had the complete copy, which is to me kind of insane. And it's kind of scary that people are going to cannibalize books as a result, because there's just so much money to be made in selling pages now, where people are just so desperate to have a little piece. And the funniest story is the little piece story. And I'm not sure if people know this story, but I think it was Amazing Fantasy. Somebody, like, a lot of the time, like if you look at Amazing Fantasy, and this is the funniest story, is Amazing Fantasy is a book that is notorious for Marvel chipping. And so what Marvel chipping is the way the paper that they used wasn't the greatest. And what happened was a lot of it would flake off, like the sides of it would flake off. And you get these little chips. There's like little pieces. And somebody took one of these little pieces and they put it in like a frame. It was either, I think it was Amazing Fantasy. I think it was Amazing Fantasy. Or was it Action 1? Maybe it was Action 1, actually. I might be wrong. So I think it was Action 1, actually. I think it was the 1. They had the little 1. And they sold it for like a few hundred or a few thousand, like even like maybe 1,000 or so, for just like a little piece of that Grail book. And it's just crazy how people will, you know, buy something like that. Actually, the funny thing was it was CGC slabbed, this little piece of this like book, like and it's just, people will buy anything just to, you know, sometimes it's kind of crazy. So that was one of my the funnier things that I've seen with people buying just, you know, not just coverless, but pieces of books, not just pages, even like literally pieces of books. Actually, there was a really funny one, another one that I saw where the guy had basically, James, you're right. Splash pages, big money, big money. Actually, you know what? If you search for splash pages and you can find them, the big one to find is it? I forgot what detective. What's the detective with Poison Ivy? First appearance of Poison Ivy. Well, that splash page notoriously was pulled out, and you can actually sell that splash page for a premium because people need it for their books, you know, to sort of complete their books. So there's so many of these splash pages that people kind of seek. And a lot of the early Batman had some really great splash pages that people will chase after. And a lot of the early like Golden Age books, like especially during the war, they really were rationing staples and everything. So sometimes books would only have one staple, or the staples would be a little small, where they just wouldn't grab onto that centerfold. So people actually chase after the splash pages because often those were the things that were lost first. So those splash pages, big money, big crazy money on them. Like, you know, people are chasing those things. Yeah, that's another one I saw, page 2 with Batman Joker appearance. Actually, I just saw that recently on eBay. Somebody sold that, sold for big money, like a few thousand. I don't think it's 188. I'm blanking on the number. It's on the wall right behind me too. It's like 181, I want to say, for first Poison Ivy. Yeah, 181. See, I was right. Black Boss. See, I was right. I actually remember Batman 181. See, okay. Yeah. So that book is notorious for missing the centerfold. And it's not because of the staples in that case. It's because it had a really cool centerfold. I think it was a Batman and Robin centerfold. And people, is, something you could put up on your wall. And people are always chasing after that. It's really highly sought after centerfold. I'm going to actually have to wrap it up because not because I don't like hanging out with you guys, but because my phone's about to die. My phone is running out of battery. So I really enjoyed spending time with everybody. I hope that you guys enjoyed spending time with me. And thanks for hanging out. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And thanks again for watching. Oh, wait, I'll answer this one last question. I need you to discuss a new issue that just came up in the community. Swagel Haas brought it up in his latest video. What is the first PCH comic? He suggests Punch Comics 11. Could it be a spec book? I think he's wrong on that. There's earlier pre-code horror books. It's one of those weird things, like what do you really consider a pre-code horror book? Most people, when they think of pre-code horror books, like, just so you know, and I was going to correct Swagel Haas about it because he's not a Golden Age expert. Most people consider Eerie #1 as kind of the first Golden Age or pre-code horror book. So I would kind of go in that camp, that Eerie 1 is the one that you seek if you're trying to get that first Golden Age or first pre-code horror book. There's other books too that are actually even earlier that there are first horror books. So it's kind of one of those weird things. So yeah, it's okay. I'm just going to quickly put these things up. Yeah. Thank you, Joshua. And Punch Comics was 1944. So I think Eerie Comics #1 is from 1941, I believe, somewhere around there. I want to say 41, 42, maybe 43. I don't know. It's earlier is my point. So we have to look it up. I'll look it up. Maybe somebody, if you could do me a favor, people watching, on my Wednesday video, put a comment saying, what is the first pre-code horror book on my Wednesday video? And I will answer it because I copy and paste all the questions people ask me. So if somebody could do me a favor, just ask that question on my Wednesday video, the one I just posted, I'd appreciate it. Yeah, so okay. So James doesn't think it's Eerie #1. I think it's Eerie #1, but it might not be. I'd have to look it up. It's something that, again, I will do the research. I'll find out what is the first pre-code horror book. I'm going to guess that it's Eerie #1. If you guys are by your computers, you can look up when Eerie #1 came out. Yeah, I'm guessing it's Eerie #1. Personally, that'd be my guess. Yeah, I'd have to do some research. Okay, so wait. Oh, okay. So Eerie #1 came out 1947, according to the Grand Comics database. Is that the right Eerie? Is that okay? So if that other one is 44, that would make it earlier. Maybe they have a good case there. Maybe that's a good case. So Black Box says that Eerie #1 is 1947. It's usually Eerie #1 is what people cite as being the first horror comic. But if maybe I'll have to look up because I think there's earlier books than Punch 11. I think there's earlier books. I'm pretty sure, to tell you the truth. I can think of some from the early 40s. And if you think there's actually Platinum Age books, but that kind of fit into that as well. So yeah, everyone's saying 1947 for Eerie 1. So I must be wrong on that. but usually it's cited as being the first kind of horror related comic. There's a lot of comics that were before it that would have some horror, but not be totally devoted to horror, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's one of those things. That's the dilemma of what is pre-code horror defined as. Sweigelhaus was thinking of on that. So yeah, so what the way I define pre-code horror is any horror book before the code, and like meaning pre-code, like anything pre-code horror, so PCH. So that's how I define it. I'm not really sure if that's the official definition per se, but that could be one of those debates, because some people consider pre-code horror to be the books before the code, but I mean really close to when the code came out. So like the books from the like early 50s rather than the 40s. So it's one of those weird debates. I don't know. Like I had a discussion with an Overstreet advisor about it, actually, strangely, where I was saying I was defining it as anything before the code, and then he was defining it as early 50s horror related titles. So it's kind of weird. Okay, so Lyle, good night. I'm going to say good night as well. And thank you guys for watching. And I'm going to wrap it up. And bye. Bye for now.